It was so painful for me to see you with someone else for so long, with someone who wasn't making you happy, when I knew I have every ability to make you happy, I think. And it's so painful, and you can't decide when you want to be in my life and when you want to play with my feelings. That's not how it works, and that's completely unfair to me, and part of me really hates you for that. But for some reason, I forgive you every time, and it doesn't make any sense because I haven't forgiven people who have done less, and you've done more, and I'm still completely trapped.
By the time the relationship ended, I wasn't necessarily upset more than I was worried that I had let people down. I think a lot of people had a certain image of us, that we were high school sweethearts, that were going to go against the odds and get married and all that stuff. And it was really hard for me to realize that you were no longer in love with me and I was no longer in love with you. And that was hard to tell people. It was hard to tell people that asked me, do you miss him? And say, no, because I'm missing someone that doesn't exist. You hurt me. But I'm also glad that I met you because it showed me what I really wanted. And in that way, you were my rehearsal.
You deserve a really good person, and I don't know if I will ever be that. But no matter what, I will always hold love for you. I will always imagine a future with you, and you're always going to be the most beautiful girl in the world. I don't need you anymore, and maybe I never did, but I do wish that at some point you needed me, and maybe that's why I'm so attracted to you, because you never let me do the crazy shit that I tend to do. And when I fucked up and couldn't get out of the darkness, you held me and gave me a space to breathe. It feels like I was waiting for you my whole life, and then I had to try and forget you. But I know that will never happen.
I changed a lot of me when I was with you. I gave up a lot of parts of myself to make room so I could love you more, love you better, love you harder. And then you said I wasn't the same person you fell in love with. I searched so hard for these missing pieces, thinking they would make you stay. But I found them, and you left anyway. You loved me so much. You could see it in your eyes, in every movement your body made. The way you touched me, the way you said my name, every part of you ached for me. And then suddenly, I was the ache, the pain, the sadness. I didn't see it coming, and it was over.
You're supposed to fall in love in high school. At least that's what the movies say. But with you, that felt impossible. Your problems became mine, creating a version of myself that I didn't even recognize. I seemed to always be the one apologizing for things I've never done. When you didn't like what I had to say, you began to distance yourself. And there I was again, thinking it was all my fault. What we once had felt like nothing in the end. You tried apologizing, and I tried accepting. But it was too late, and I already let go. Now my mind is screaming with the overwhelming fear that I'm still afraid of love.
I never truly understood how love could be so blind, but my love for you was like looking into the sun. You gave me plenty of opportunities to walk away, to just leave you and everything we had behind. But I couldn't. It just wasn't that easy. You treated me terribly and controlled our entire relationship, blaming me for every one of your mistakes. Yet I still loved you with all my heart. All I wanted was for you to be happy, and now that you are, it kills me. It doesn't make any sense how you can be so happy with your new girlfriend when I'm so heartbroken. You hurt me so much, and still you managed to get what you want, just like always. I gave you my heart, and you let it break piece by piece. Things weren't supposed to end this way. We weren't supposed to end as strangers, but we did, and it was all because love wasn't enough to save our messed up relationship.
I've always known I was bi, but you were the first guy I ever really felt that way for. I can remember you with clarity whenever I picture you outside on the smoking stoop, or next to me in bed, or bent over the counter snorting fake MDMA. But I hardly ever actually think of you at all anymore. The first time I wrote this, it was long and self-indulgent and more like me talking to myself instead of to you. So what do I want to say to you? How about, what were you thinking when you asked to kiss me? How about, I'm sorry you don't live in New York. You don't live in a safe place where it's possible to be bi. How about, you should try going to therapy? How about, please take care of all the books I lent you? How about, your feet stink? How about, thank you. I will always be grateful for the tenderness and affection you pulled out of me. I will always be grateful for the way you made me realize how marvelous the body is, that it can feel this way over and over again. I will always be grateful for the strange, undefined relationship that we had, and I hope you can learn from it like I did.
I've never been as in love or brokenhearted until you came into my life, and sometimes I still resent you so much for hurting me the way that you did. When you left me, you said that we would never be able to be together, and that you became scared of how deep your feelings were towards me. You said that you were just incapable of opening yourself up to love ever again. I begged you to change your mind and refused to listen to you. That was my mistake. But 6 months after we broke up, you still show up to my apartment drunk at 3 a.m. begging for me to let you in. I let you, and that was another one of my mistakes. You knew how vulnerable I was to you, and you took advantage of that. I'll never understand how you were able to look me in the eyes and tell me that you still love me, knowing what it would do to me. And each time you'd see me, you'd manipulate me to believe that you were different, but you never will be. You're one of the most selfish people I've ever met. You make me sick, but for some reason, whenever my doorbell rings, I still hope that it's you. And I hate that I'm still in love with you the way that I am.
You entered my life unexpectedly when I was feeling very broken, and in the brief time that I knew you, you restored this happiness that I truly felt like I was never going to feel again. I fell in love with you, and I miss you. I built my life around you, and in doing so, I think I lost myself. I lost touch of who I was because I was so infatuated with you as a person. And when you left, it was obviously very difficult for me to kind of wrap my head around the situation because you were all I had known. So I'm trying to find myself. I would not give up any of the experiences that we shared for the world.
You really cared about me in the beginning, so much. Everyone could tell. Why did that change? Eventually, you stopped treating me like you cared about me, and you made me feel stupid and crazy for assuming so. You stopped kissing me, and you even stopped hugging me, and I didn't know why. In the end, you only caused pain, but I didn't want to walk away because I was still rooting for the guy in the beginning who looked at me with such care in his eyes. Every time I would try to share anything remotely personal with you, I just ended up feeling stupid for thinking you would care. And maybe you did, but I never felt so. And now you come back into my life every once in a while, and never when you're sober. And it used to make me so angry because I just get sucked back in again. But that's how I know I'm over you now. Because it doesn't make me angry, or sad, or even happy. You're just another text that pops up on my phone, and there's no longer anything there for me. You know, all I ever wanted was for you to care about me as much as I cared about you, but you chose to love someone else instead.